Usage of diacritics in loanwords. I was told here that not using diacritics, specifically the cedilla, is bad usage for those who know, I assume, they're diacritics. Is that correct? Is garcon a correct spelling, in English, of the French loanword garçon? That is it valid to drop the cedilla? In general, what do style guides and other authoritative sources say about using diacritics in English? Are there contexts, again, in established English words, loanwords or otherwise, not in quoting foreign texts or proper nouns, where? The consensus among authorities is that diacritics must be used? Diacritics were once used, but are no longer in widespread use, even by professional typographers to the power of one? Diacritics once in widespread use are actively discouraged today? What is the general disposition of diacritics in modern English in professional writing and typesetting, taking into account prestigious sources in both print and online? I'm more interested in proper orthography than in effective typography, but I'd appreciate perspectives from both fields squared. I would like answers from a range of authoritative sources, like Style Guides, Chicago, AP, etc., or How Styles, The New Yorker, The Atlantic, The New York Times, etc. To the power of one, for example, cooperation, beloved of The New Yorker? Squared bonus points, what about ligatures? When debating this topic with my friends, should I cavil about diaeresis or diaeresis?
I do not think that garçon/garçon is an ideal example, as it is seldom used as an English word, i.e. it is generally only used to refer to a French individual. A better loanword with a cedilla is provided in the quotation in the answer by @user 3293056, the word facade/facade, which I would consider a word used in normal educated English speech, especially in an architectural context. From the English dictionaries in my possession or online. Chambers, iPhone edition. Garçon, facade and facade. Oxford Encyclopedic English Dictionary, 1991. Garçon, facade. Italicization suggesting it is a foreign word used but not properly assimilated into English. Cambridge Dictionary, online. Garçon, facade. Merriam-Webster Dictionary, online. Garçon, facade. Conclusions. I personally would never use garçon/garçon as an English word. I think that is why the cedilla is retained by the dictionaries, and if I did use the word I would follow them. In contrast, the dictionaries that I have consulted suggest that modern, especially us, usage is to drop the cedilla from the more integrated loanword, facade/facade. I did use Google Ngrams to try to check this, but unfortunately these are based on scanned books, and inspection of individual cases where the books were in French, another problem, indicated that the scanning had missed cedillas, rendering the analysis useless.
Garner's Modern American Usage, 2009, claims. Cedilla/estil/ in some Romance languages, e.g., French and Portuguese, a diacritical mark that appears under the letter C to indicate that the letter is pronounced softly as an S rather than hard as a K. Most loanwords used in English that had cedillas are now usually spelled without soupçon, garçon, garçon, facade, facade.
The consensus is there is no consensus. In fact, some of the style guides I checked didn't even mention it. In that case you can just use the spelling recommended by a dictionary. That's what the Chicago Manual of Style Online recommends. Generally, we leave such things to the dictionary. Our main arbiter in matters of spelling, Webster's 11th, tends to preserve diacritics in words that are direct imports, especially when they are essential to pronunciation. So write applique, which happens to be the only option given in Webster's. In the case of decor, the accent isn't absolutely essential to pronunciation. That may be the reason Webster's allows either decor or decor. Many of the house style guides that I found did specify if/how to use diacritics. The Economist. On words now accepted as English, use accents only when they make a crucial difference to pronunciation, cliché, soupçon, facade, café, communiqué, exposé, but chateau, décor, élite, effeted, naïve. If you use one accent, except the tilde, strictly, a diacritical sign, use all, émigré, mêlé, protégé, resume. BBC. We do not include accents, either in accented words that have passed into the English language or in foreign names. For example, he had his breakfast in a cafe and the Brazilian football legend Pelé scored twice. New York Times. They give spellings for a number of words in their book, e.g. garçon, facade. All other words should be spelled according to a dictionary.
There's also the curious case of foreign words that normally wouldn't get diacriticals, but sometimes do in order to distinguish them from their English lookalikes. For example, the Japanese word sake, sometimes spelled sake.